That's
Oh,
when I'm starting this
there it
music.
goes.
Live. There it is.
Because we're
Yes.
going with some Highlander today.
Yes.
So
Thank
we are
you,
going with
Lord.
Highlander music.
Guys,
Hey.
this is just somebody send the link to Phil so that way he can be happy.
Does he like Highlander?
Man,
Oh my
this
God.
video's
No, you guys don't even understand. Like, they went on
Dude.
vacation one time and they went to like somewhere where the Highlander thing was supposed to take place over in Europe. And, yeah. He's been
Dude, this
insane.
video's awesome.
Insane.
Freaking Freddie Mercury.
We're probably
jumping
going to get
around.
DCM'd on this one.
We're talking about it. We'll be all right.
It's hardcore on this one.
Come on.
You gonna sing it for
I
us?
haven't got no blood of kings yet. For survival. Yeah. Come on.
You can't beat that.
You
That's good
can't,
stuff
dude. It
right
was the
there.
best. The best.
It's the greatest.
What is going on, guys? Now that we're DCM'd on that,
Yeah.
we are glad all you guys
Pick your
are
battles,
here
right?
watching with us, for sure.
Man, I
we're
feel
not making
honored.
any money.
I feel honored. I'm up in a mod spot. I feel good. Like, I'm in the A spot.
Look, maybe you'll say some brilliant stuff today, man.
Oh, dude. Hey, I do
Oh.
nothing but brilliance comes out
I
of my
know it.
mouth.
I
man.
know
It's
it.
gonna
I
be.
know it.
It's gonna. People are just gonna be astounded by what they hear.
Maybe.
Oh my God.
The truth. The truth will
see-
set you
we'll see
free,
that.
guys.
Mm.
I'm
It's
here.
gonna be interesting
We
show.
are. So far, we're already interesting. So what's going on, guys? We are the Marauders. We are here every Thursday, 7:30. Thank you for jumping in with us. Toss in some comments. Sit back, enjoy the show, hang out, and we love you guys. So, real quick, we'll start. We'll start in the corner, ladies first.
Oh, me.
Bonnie.
So I'm Bonnie Poo Poo today because I couldn't think of a good name because I was on the road all day. So I'm Bonnie Poo Poo.
And I am. Oh wait. Go ahead.
What's going on, guys?
You gotta wait. You
This-
first.
This is Ace of Omens. Give me sight beyond sight. You know what I'm saying? Talk nerdy to me, aka Ace Kennedy. Y'all know what it is.
Dang. Panthera down there spreading the word. I'm C3PP because I miss my boy Shane tonight. I don't have him, so I got to channel me some angry ginger rage.
Yeah, for real.
I'll find something to yell
I'm-
about. It's ginger rage.
And I'm not playing any Hobbit music to get
to
you
calm him down.
Yeah, to get you calm. And I am Jared McLeod of the Clan McLeod.
Hey,
There can be only one, just so you know.
Oh, good God.
I'm telling you, I'm all in with Highlander. I love this.
too.
Here we go.
So the question with Highlander: were you a Highlander series fan or a movie fan?
I loved both, but I started with Connor McLeod.
But you obviously didn't love Highlander 2 because that's the worst. Highlander 2 is awful.
There's three of them, isn't there?
There's 4.
There's 4.
Yeah, so there was 1, 2, and then 3 and 4. The last one, because there was in-game or whatever it was 3, and then 4 was the one where they brought in freaking Duncan from the series, the other McLeod,
See,
and had both of them in that.
I missed the second one, I think, and I
And
saw
2,
the
most
last
people just forget about 2. We just try not to talk about it because it was just the worst. Bonnie, you know it was
I
bad.
don't remember. She probably didn't like it to begin with.
No comment.
We can talk more about that later. What do we got?
Yeah, we'll come back to that. Let's start out with some JJ Abrams. JJ, you're always talking, and this was the most stuttering I've ever
He
heard.
just needs to shut his mouth sometimes. It doesn't help him.
So, I know that. Let's pull that up. Let's actually listen to that. You
Okay.
got that ready?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, here we go. Let's listen to this.
About
Let's listen to
the
some JJ.
Star Wars franchise that you guys did was that the creative handoff between you and Ryan Johnson, which I felt, it was letting.
And this came
filmmakers
from
take
Collider,
their
by the
own
way.
Yeah.
stories and
This was
take
not
the
us.
story where they wanted to go, and I felt that played out in a really interesting way. But I know not everyone feels that way, and I'm curious for you, as the person who helped get that foundation off the ground and also concluded it, do you feel like that trilogy would have benefited from planning out a very strict 3-movie story?
Yes.
From the beginning?
Slid that one in there.
Enjoy that kind of creative freedom to kind of take
The answer is yes.
See how it goes.
I've been involved in a number of projects that have
Stutter.
been
Lots of ums.
He's
in
like, oh,
most
crap.
cases series
Really?
that have
I was really hoping I didn't get this question. That's what he was saying right now.
ideas that
He didn't say.
begin the thing where you feel like you know where it's going to go, and then sometimes it's an actor who comes in. Other times it's a relationship that is,
God,
as
he
it's
is
written, doesn't quite work, and
dancing.
things that you think
Dancing.
are, be so well received. Just crash and burn, and other things that you think like, oh, that's a little small moment.
Does anybody
That's a
even understand what he's
one-episode
saying?
Character suddenly become a hugely
so
important
lost
part
right
of
now.
the story.
He looks
And
like
I feel like
Wolverine. He got
what I've
Wolverine
learned
hair.
as a lesson
Look at his hair.
times now,
Rob
and it's
from
something
Robin Hood
that-
was answering
that especially in
questions
this
before Congress.
pandemic year, working with writers, the lesson is that you have to plan things the best you can, and
Makes sense.
you always need to be able to respond to the unexpected, and the unexpected can come in all sorts of forms. And I do think that there's nothing more important than knowing where you're going. And there are projects that I've worked on where we had some ideas.
Which projects,
but
JJ?
We hadn't worked through them enough. We had sometimes we had some ideas, but then we weren't allowed to do them the way we wanted to.
Which project was
We
that,
had-
JJ?
I mean, I've had all sorts of situations where,
It's the fact that they
plan
put the
things
camera
in a
straight
certain
on him
way,
that-
and you suddenly find yourself 180 degrees different.
They're not
sometimes it
letting
works
him off the
really
hook on
well,
this either. They're
and
staying right on
You
him.
feel like, wow, that really
Yeah.
came together. And other times you think, oh my God, I can't believe this is where we are. And sometimes when it's not working out, it's because it's what you planned. And other
JJ
times when it's not working
Averine.
out, it's because it didn't.
That's what he
you
is.
just- you never
Averine.
really
That's
know,
his
but-
Wolverine
but
name.
having a plan, I have learned in some cases the hard way, is the most, critical thing, because otherwise you don't know what you're setting up. You don't know what you're,
You don't
You
know what
should.
you're setting up though.
You
what to
should
emphasize,
know what
because
you're
if you don't know
saying.
the inevitable of the
And I
story,
feel like you have really good resources to
you just as
kind
good as
of
your,
learn off of.
sequence or effect or joke or whatever, but you want to be leading to something inevitable.
Okay.
Okay,
Let's get
so
rid of that.
okay. First of all, here's Ahmad.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna do a story, right? If you are tasked with making a movie, what do you think probably the biggest thing you should probably do is?
Have a story.
Make a plan, right?
We're gonna
Like,
bring you
I
in.
don't-
Hey,
I
just so
don't-
you know, we're bringing you in. We need you to direct the first one. There's gonna be 3 of them. Have a story.
I don't need to wreck a franchise to understand that.
Here-
You have a plan.
Okay,
Oh
Ace,
my
go ahead. You talk.
This is my thing, right? I know for a fact that this is not gonna do.
Look at that man back there in the background. Looking good.
This is the way I feel. This should clear Ryan Johnson's name, because the blame about what happens to the trilogy is on Ryan Johnson, as though he was the one. And I've been saying for the longest, I'm not even defending The Last Jedi right now. I'm talking about the blame of it. I blamed it on J.J. Abrams from the beginning, because number one, he started it and he ended it. So he had an opportunity when he started it. He had the opportunity to set pace of what was supposed to happen, and he had the opportunity to finish it the way he wanted to. Any book that you read or any story, when it gets to the middle of the book, it's how it ends is how people look at it. A lot of people did not like The Rise of Skywalker because this was supposed to be the culmination of all 3 movies, and that is what we got. So I'm hoping that this takes the pressure off of Ryan Johnson, even though I know it won't, but it should. It's justified in this and what he said.
Hey, real quick, big man, we were talking about JJ and all his backpedaling he tried to do, talking about the whole having a story for the last 3 for our sequels for 7, 8, and 9, and how he didn't want to commit, saying, I didn't have a story, I just threw something out there. That's what we're
Yeah.
talking about.
Look, we know it was a mess. Yeah, it's a mess. Now, look, I'm with Ahmad on some things. Like, I do agree. Like, Ryan Johnson's good, right? I'm not going to sit here and tell you Ryan Johnson's an awful director. Like, I do not like 8, but sometimes people have. I mean, like, look at like Jon Favreau, right? We all love Jon Favreau. We agree John's the best, right? I didn't love Lion King. That being said, it was one of their top grossing ones, right? But he's still amazing. He knows everybody kind of, you have tops, you have lows. And I just, this is just like not surprising to hear J.J. Abrams just completely say that they had no plan. Because we knew that, right? We all said that. There was no plan in this. And it's just sad. Sad.
Bonnie, what's your thoughts?
I mean, I agree with Ace. I think that I think it should clear Ryan Johnson's. Like, he did one of the movies, the middle movie too, was trying to go off of what J.J. Abrams, was trying to do, and then he went and, like, J.J. Abrams, how he ended it was just atrocious. So I have to agree with that. Honestly, I would love to see a Ryan Johnson trilogy.
I would. Absolutely.
I think kind of like what Joey said. I don't think that he is a bad director at all. I mean, I thought if you forgot about the front and the end, it could be a good movie. I mean, obviously there's parts that I don't like with Luke, but I think he directing and his shots and all that stuff, everything looks awesome.
Well, and
there's
even
no doubt about that, but it just
even,
didn't fit
Yeah.
in what was going on.
Yeah,
and that's because
and
of
J.J.
both sides
Abrams'
of
story.
JJ.
Yeah.
yeah,
The bad sandwich, and he just got caught in the middle of it.
Well, and I agree. So when you talk about him as his camera work and all his design, so take the throne room scene. First of all, the throne room was gorgeous, right? And the way that camera shot was moving through while they're doing their action was
And stuff's
awesome,
burning
right?
down around him.
Yes.
You see
And also the crate at the end with the red coming off. I mean, gorgeous. They look great. Like, I have no problem. And JJ too, man. JJ cinematography is, when I saw all of the like Star Destroyers and the lightning around them, looks cool. No story. Looks cool. No story. Nowadays, it's so easy to make things look good, especially when you have a program like Lucasfilm behind you. Again, I'm not taking anything away from them. I do think they directed it to those, but I just like, it's easy to make things look good nowadays because of technology, but it is hard to make really good stories, apparently, because we don't get a lot of just great stories. We get okay stories.
I would also say this about Ryan Johnson after watching, what's it called, the director of the Jedi?
Oh yeah, the director.
No, that part of it, like, he was a true fan, I feel like, too, because like he even used the old cast from the original Yoda whenever they made that puppet for this version of Yoda. Like, he even took the time to, that kind of fine detail, I feel like, is kind of a, nod to the fans. I do think that he did a good job as far as the story goes. There were parts of it, yes, that I didn't like, but there's always movies out there, parts of it I didn't like. But I guess the overall, like, I do feel like he is a true Star Wars fan, and if he was given the opportunity to do a trilogy, I think he would do well with it.
See, here's my thing, right? I think with The Last Jedi, the only thing, I think if you changed one thing, even if you kept the casino place, can't think of it.
Canto Bite.
Even if you kept Canto Bite, right? I think the only thing, if you would have changed Luke Skywalker, the way his character was portrayed, then I think the rest of the Star Wars fans would have been fine. And so for that alone, I think that's what makes The Last Jedi a good movie, because that's controversial, because you took somebody's hero and changed the way the hero looked, right? It's kind of the same way with Wonder Woman, right? In Wonder Woman 2, she lost her powers where she wasn't really that powerful. So then it's just like, so you're not really Wonder Woman. So I think a lot of people had issue with Luke Skywalker. I didn't personally. I thought it was a great arc for him. But I can understand why people could have some type of issue with that. And so if you would have changed that one piece and then had The Last Jedi, then I still think then people would consider it a good movie. And the thing is that the other thing with The Last Jedi is what? Why was Luke not in the Force Awakens? What was Ryan Johnson supposed to do with that? And I thought he had a great creative way of why this dude was just chilling on the rock somewhere. Because JJ didn't give us no reasoning as to why Luke was on this rock and we didn't see him
Right.
to the end of the movie. So it's JJ's fault.
Yeah.
I
mean,
think I say
yeah, go ahead.
Kathleen's, but well, I mean, she's in
Somebody ring
charge.
the bell. Ring the bell.
We've hashed this to death. It's fine.
It's no argument here. Like I said, see, the issue with Joey and a bunch of the other Joeyites, right? The thing is with them, they like to poke at Kathleen Kennedy for a lot of things, but they don't like to give her credit for a lot of things. The thing is that when it comes to who's the producer of the film, the story comes from the story group. So if you want to blame somebody outside of the director, which Ryan Johnson did acknowledge, it's the story group. It's not Kathleen Kennedy.
Crickets?
Kathleen's the worst. That's all I'm saying. She's the worst.
We always end up down the same roads, honestly. I think
I know. I literally just don't feel like even repeating.
I'm not fighting him
the
today.
same thing.
I'm not fighting.
I say the same thing all the time. I'm a broken record. I'm just like not going to say anything about her. She who should not be named.
I love you, cuz.
Okay, so while we're talking about this, we talked last week about Dave Filoni and how he's kind of slowly working his way up. I so thought it would be funny if it's like, and Ace pointed this out, like the little side thing of Mortal Kombat, and you have all the players and you're slowly walking up the line. So, and I didn't tell you this one, Ace, because I didn't tell you the very end. So we were talking about it would be funny if he's like slowly knocking people out, Mortal Kombat style. But he gets up to Kathleen Kennedy, and she goes, "I'll take your soul," and then he's gone. He just disappears.
Oh,
anyways,
Dave Filoni is gone.
Dave
Yo,
Filoni.
man, speaking of Filoni, bro, do you think we give him a pass?
Or what?
Well, so, and I know we're going to talk about the episodes coming up, right? But as I'm watching it, you start to look at, for me anyway, right? For me, we get like a great episode that's dealing with plot, and then we get a filler. A great episode dealing with plot, then we get filler. And it reminds me so much of Clone Wars, Rebels, that type of stuff. And so my thing is it that we love the plot stuff so much that we forget about the side stuff? Because the difference is we get these weekly episodes, and so it's like a waste of space when they're filler episodes, and it drives me crazy when it's like, oh, we're gonna go to this planet because the ship is broke, so we have to go find the part. Ooh, and then we get the part and we're on to the next planet. Ooh, has zero to do with the plot. And it's just like, are we giving Dave Filoni a pass too much because we get hyped up about the Luke Skywalker stuff, or what I'm saying, the 4 episodes of Clone Wars? Like, are we give him a boy a pass or what?
Because he brought out Ahsoka?
I mean, there's definitely world building episodes, right? Like and what I mean by that is they build you in, they teach you more about the world that you're living in, so that you know how the rules work to where you're at. And so we're definitely getting a lot of that stuff that fans have not understood for a long time. Like, we've never had a real clear indication exactly how the whole going from the clone troopers to the other troopers, and then even like the money system, all that kind of stuff. It's world building. It's building you into place. I understand what you're saying. And I guess it depends how you want to look at it. Because I kind of go back again to what I said earlier about creative people. So Dave Filoni is a creative person, right? We need creative people in these roles because we know we can sit here and point to how many franchises, whenever you get somebody that crunches numbers in these spots, and you're just like, they're just killing it because they're doing what the numbers tell them to do. So Dave Filoni is so creative. People like that aren't always going to hit 100% on everything. As I'm saying this, I have nothing against the last 4 episodes of The Bad Batch. I liked them, some more than others. But I do think people in general have some lows, even if they're amazing. And like I told you, Jon Favreau, right? We all love Jon Favreau. I honestly didn't think The Lion King was that great, right? I didn't like what he did.
I didn't like The Lion King either. But even with Favreau, though.
And that being said, that's Disney's one of their best ones. Like, killed for him, right?
Yeah, but the difference is most people went to see The Lion King not because of word of mouth of wanting to see The Lion King. It was, we saw The Lion King growing up as a kid, the cartoon version, the animated version. So we want to see what the live action does. And then the discussions happened of whether or not you liked it or not. But all I'm saying, even with Favreau, though, even with The Mandalorian, we've had conversations about, man, this was a filler episode. And so my thing is that you can be a creative and you can have those thoughts and world building, but you can also have plot within the episode. What I'm saying is, when I say a plot driven episode, it's what does them going to a different planet have to do with anything?
Well,
dealing with the big.
Well, so from episode 4 is what we're talking. Is it 4 or 3?
It's 4.
3 and 4 because we missed out on 3 last week.
So 3 where they crash land, right? Which, first of all, the cinematography on that, you could tell that Dave Filoni's been doing this other stuff, because the way the camera, when they're in the cave, like the foreground and background, the stuff that's there, really cool. But the other thing too is, like, think about, like, what's his name hit his head, right? We're setting up something with this chip, and we're probably, I mean, I know
that's
what you're
stuff though in 3. I like that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
See, in 1, 2, we didn't get.
Which one was 4? I'm trying to remember what happened in
4's with old girl from Mandalorian. The Asian girl.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
I can't even think of her name. I'm sorry.
It's Ming
now.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Because Omega gets lost and she takes her.
We see her as a bounty hunter for the first time.
So
they're introducing her. Yeah.
Right. So thus far for me, episode 1 and episode 3 were plot driven. Episode 2 and 4, in my opinion, are just filler stuff, because it doesn't have anything to do with the plot of what's going on. The plot of this is, like you said, we're dealing with these clones. Are they ever going to turn? Are we going to get Crosshair back? Is what's his name going to flip out because his head is starting to hurt? Like, those are plot driven things. When you're talking about, we're just going to crash on this planet because we got to get a part for our ship, that has nothing to do with the plot. And so my thing is because they control what we're seeing. You can have filler stuff mixed in with plot, but when you're watching 23 minutes of something and 2 minutes is plot, that's not a plot driven episode, in my opinion.
I don't know. I it's that whole deal with a book, right? And I know these are shows and they're different, but in a book you got all this extra stuff that just adds to everything. Is it needed? Could you sit down and just, it's like I have friends who are really good at telling stories and some that aren't. My friends that tell stories give all this detail, and it lasts a lot longer, but you're way more like in it. Where me, if I tell you a story, I go, this happened, up, boom, done, we're done. There's the story. And it's like, well, not as exciting. So there is something to be said with getting all the extra stuff that draws you in and makes it more satisfying at the end when you get the reveals.
I mean, if we can go on and talk about these episodes real quick, but I do agree to some extent. Like, 2 was slow, but I felt like there was a lot of little things that were connecting, for at least for 3 and 4. I have to say 2 is my lowest, but when we got to 3 and then we find out about, okay, the codes that they use, that the Empire uses, that's a huge thing, because we had no idea. Why did they need the codes to get onto the Death Star? Well, now we know. This guy created all this stuff, and we got to see that. And so 3 and 4 for me are great. I don't remember 2 as much, and maybe it's just because it's so low.
2 was the one where the family that we got from the Clone Wars,
the farm,
where we came back.
Yeah, okay. Rex. So they were, Omega was deciding whether or not she was going to stay with them or not. and they kind of established the coding system there, like switching over the Empire on how they, identify people. Right.
Mhm.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, again, 1 or 2 minutes of plot, but for the whole rest of the thing, like, I don't know. I just feel like we get so sucked into the bigger action pieces of what happens with Filoni, we might overlook some of the filler stuff. That's all.
I think, yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, and I can get where you're coming from. I am glad I'm getting all the extra stuff because I think it's going to make it better for me. Because I feel like you don't want to rush. You don't want to rush some of it because even for me, Rebels, I love Rebels. It's a slow burn, especially at the beginning, but you're learning the characters. Like, we're still learning these characters and understanding who they are and how they respond to situations. And so I don't think it's too fast for me, but to each his own. I get it, but I'm cool with it.
Yeah. So we can do episode 3 or 4, whatever you want to talk about. What was your favorites from episode 3? What are your like top things on that one? Because we know we like that one, and we know we like 4.
I didn't watch them yet.
Oh, Bonnie.
I know.
Spoiler alert.
I ran out of
Spoiler
time.
alert.
I ran out. It's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna watch them tomorrow. That's my plan.
So 3, what was I'm trying to think of the big stuff that happened in 3.
They crashed on that deal. That's where Omega went down in the cave,
and he hits his head.
And I thought
Wrecker hits his head.
I thought that was a great episode.
Yeah, that was a great.
Really
episode.
liked 3.
Yeah. 3 was a great episode. I think my favorite thing, what we're learning about Omega, is that she seems to have the powers of all of the special clones, and also she's gaining their trust because they're going out and doing things with her. I mean, she had to save Wrecker pretty much. And not only that, we're getting to see their connection as far as like they've never dealt with children before, and they're starting to feel like she's a part of the crew, like giving her her own bed, giving her her own space. Like that small stuff like that is huge for her, but it does help with the character building. And we're starting to care about Omega because they have to catch us up to liking her because we spent so much time with the special clones. So I thought that's what was the big important stuff in 3. And again, I felt it was a plot-driven episode.
Yeah. Obviously, Bonnie, you didn't see it, so we'll skip you on this.
What Ace said.
That's a cop-out.
No.
So, I mean, one of the spots that I really liked was it kind of set it up where I can't think of his name. The tech one. The one that was working on the headpiece.
Just call him Tech.
Okay, Tech. Whatever. Yeah, whatever that his name is. So he's working on the thing there to be able to scan the whatever that is that's in their head. And we also get, at the same time, pretty much, Wrecker smacks his head when they're landing in this crash. And all of a sudden, he's getting this severe headache, which I think is going to lead to, it's actually going to jog his chip. And he might go bad a little later.
That's
That's what I'm expecting, anyways. But hopefully, the thing that Tech, whatever his name is making will actually help fix it. Then we'll get Crosshair back at some point. And obviously, when he goes and he's like, "Hey, I got a surprise for you, Omega," and he has this little room just lit up with, yeah, it was awesome. C3PB.
C3PO. You just talking about the Bad Batch, the episode?
The episode 3, kind of your top things on that one.
The top things. One of the things that stood out to me was, and that I can tell that Dave Filoni's been doing these these other shows that are live action, with the way the camera work in these things are. And go watch the scene where it lands in the cave. Check out the foreground, the background, and just the way that camera moves. It looks really cool. I was just really impressed by that kind of stuff. And then, yeah, Omega going down in the cave, being bold, not being afraid, doing what she needs to do for the team, kind of just solidifying more of her being a part of the team. So it's a good episode.
And his name is Tech, Jared.
It is Tech.
Yeah.
Good guess. But yeah, I mean, we're actually starting the last two episodes. We've actually started to see her and what Ace was talking about, and we saw her shoot Crosshair almost like she had held a gun forever. Then we saw her track this, whatever the thing was that likes power, into this hole. She tracked him and then was able to figure out what to do with it. She had this sense of what's going on. But now we know that they're after her, which was our episode 4. So he wants to talk about that one. We'll just do a full run through on that one.
So, we get the introduction to Fennec in episode 4, which, we've seen her in The Mandalorian, and obviously The Mandalorian is further along, so we kind of know what's going to happen to her in the end. So she's basically in her bounty hunter role. I'm assuming she's from what we learned, she's after Omega. She's there. Of course, we get the classic Star Wars tropes of somebody's not supposed to be somewhere, you pay them off, and they still rat you out anyway. We get that whole trope. And then, each member is sent out on their special mission to accomplish the goal of getting the ship fixed, and so that they can make moves. And of course, this is another opportunity to separate Omega and one of the members from the rest of the crew. And we go through the episode. Basically, we see the capabilities of Fennec because she gets to fight several of the members, and of course Omega escapes, and we have our story. So overall, it was cool. Wasn't definitely not my favorite episode. I definitely did get a bunch of plot driven stuff from it, but overall, as a fan of the Bad Batch now, it's cool, but it was a little slow for me.
I can see that.
I don't disagree with him on any of that. Like it's okay. I mean, yeah, it's an okay episode. I'm glad I got it. I mean, it is what it is, but it's
It was good to see Fennec though.
I mean, this is the same point I was going with Shane about stuff. It's like I'm a fan of stuff. I watch it, so I'm going to watch it regardless. I'm going to like getting to watch it, unless it's just really bad, right? It's like okay, like episode 8.
I was about to say, don't go there.
And 9, episode 9. But episode 9 was worse than episode 8 in general. Yes.
Now that we got that out of the way again.
It's been confirmed. You heard it here.
First, I'm just telling truth. That's what I do.
So, do you think we had this episode just so we could toss in Fennec so that it connected to Mandalorian?
I do. I honestly do. And that's kind of what I mean. Like that. I mean, yes, it was cool to get her, but in my opinion, I feel like we could have still got her as an introduction with something that was just like maybe we found out why Fennec was trying to get Omega. Like maybe we got another plot point.
And I think
why she's important.
And I think we'll get more of that. I don't think she's done in the series. I think that's why they introduced her. Like Jon Favreau and it's not Kevin Feige. Dave Filoni. Sorry.
Yeah.
Dave Filoni realizes what people want. The fans, we want connected. We want everything to connect. We want to see the puzzle pieces go together. We don't want just this new story out of nowhere. We want this to connect. We want to be rewarded for all the time and effort we put into all this other stuff. And so you throw this in and you have a little story arc that goes with it. That's what Dave's going to do. And he's going to throw some more stuff in. We'll probably get some stuff about Grogu and all that stuff, which is going to be great. And it's going to help fill in some gaps, and people are going to be happy about it.
Bonnie, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Is it that you, just because there's so much stuff going on and so many things to watch, you haven't watched it, or you just losing interest in it?
No, I just haven't had time to watch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That wasn't a dig, for real. That was literally like if you just lost interest.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I've watched the first episode and I was really intrigued by the first episode, so I do want to see what happens next.
Yeah.
It's just that I have not had time.
Yeah, we know you busy. You got a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, it was purely to see if you had lost interest. That's all.
Well,
Gotcha.
one thing I would say, So I didn't know how many episodes for sure because my son asked me, "Hey, how long is this going to go?" And so I looked into it, and there's 16 episodes is what's supposed to happen. 16 of this,
It's more than I would have thought.
Yeah.
and that makes me wonder if we're trying to stretch to get to 16 because we thought, okay,
Look,
here's what we're doing.
and you might
Let's
be
just
right,
take the time and spin this out.
Jared, and that's a valid point. It's no, doesn't take a detective, doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to know that Disney needs money. They need content. They're pushing. They're going to have to push
stretch to
stuff.
the next thing.
So they
Yeah.
need to have new stuff. Like we're about to get Loki, which I know Maud's not, but I'm super excited.
I'm super excited.
about Loki.
I have very high expectations for Loki, so I'm hoping they don't crash and burn. So
Jupiter
I'm,
Legacy.
The other thing too, Jared, is that it's not listed as a limited series either.
It's not.
So this is season 1.
yeah.
So we could be getting a bunch of the Bad Batch, and I'm sure, obviously, because we don't see them in further installments of stuff, that bad things could happen to all of them. So I'm interested in seeing what happens. It could get dark real soon.
Yeah.
But we don't officially know what happens to him because this is we just got introduced to what's going on. They could be like Rex, those guys in Rebels where they went off on their own. They were tired of doing stuff, and we could actually come back and see them old guys somewhere. But I don't know if I'd want to see them on the screen though. I don't know if that would be as good as it is in the cartoon. But anyways, that's my opinion. So, anything else on that one? Bonnie, did you have any thoughts
it would be
on
hard
just the
to
overall?
It would be hard
about?
to see them on live action because you would need like almost the same person.
That's what I'm saying. Well, you have the same person.
Omega's the
I
little
just-
girl,
I don't
right?
think he would look as good.
Yes, Bonnie.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm. That's what I'm interested about because how the first episode ended. I'm interested. I kind of thought that she had some powers or something. So.
Well, and see, that's the thing. I've heard on some other shows that people think that she may end up being more sensitive. That she may be Ahsoka's apprentice.
Yeah.
She may
that'd be
be introduced to Grogu some kind of way. Only thing I don't like about Omega is her haircut. I
That'd be
hate it.
interesting.
So bad. Hate it.
I do think
The
though,
cartoon. Oh my gosh.
yeah, like she's like the clone that
Change it.
the Emperor has been looking for. This is the clone that he's been eating to do what he wants to do. So
And maybe that's how they use her to.
Wait a minute, to do like his cloning?
Yes. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because
Which-
you there's an episode you need to see where there's a conversation that
I
happens.
promise I will watch these
Which,
tomorrow. Like
you
that's
know-
part of the point of being up here is
Was
to
it-
slow down and watch stuff.
wasn't that brilliant in episode 9 when they did a cutaway scene to show you like when the Empire
come
when the
on.
Emperor falls down the pit, like what happened and all that stuff, and they kind of like seal up all those. That was brilliant. Good job.
Read the book.
JJ.
Read the book. Look at the comments. They got it all there for you. I don't know what you're talking about. You're just complaining to complain.
I don't like 9. What do you want me to say? They
Wait a minute,
ended.
I thought you said
They
you liked
ended it awful. It was
I thought you
awful.
said it was the best one you've ever seen out of all the
best one.
trilogies.
9? Oh, it was.
And that's how you want to live your life. It's just like 9.
Yep.
Anyways, where do you think we're heading
I'm just
in
kidding. I'll stop.
episode? You just have nothing to talk about this, so you're just trying to egg it on. That's all you're doing.
Yeah.
I think for some
Pretty
reason
much,
we're going
pretty
to have to go back to Camino or wherever the clones are, or somehow we have to get Crosshair back with the crew. Something's going to happen. Maybe he will fall in battle and hit his head, and that will mess up the chip. Or maybe they're going to go back to Camino to try to capture Crosshair to put him in the machine, and Tech is going to rewire it to make sure that it destroys the chip versus aid it.
Yeah.
I could
I'm
see
with
that.
him. I think we're
That would
getting
be a good
close
one.
to the point where they'll get him back in and get him a part of it. Because by the end of the series, you want to establish him in this family group and all the dynamic of this family group by the end of the season. That's really what your goal is, especially going forward, because we're going to get more deeper story. This is what happened in Rebels, right? By the end of Rebels, it established your family core group by the end of it. And so they'll get him back by the end. I'm hoping pretty soon. It'd be nice.
I think it's. I mean, if we're 16 episodes, I don't think that's going to happen until the end.
It's finale.
You got to have some type of redemptive arc.
I think we'll get a bigger reveal by the end. I'm thinking we're going to get some big reveal with Omega by the end. Maybe she actually uses a force power at the very end or something. It's going to be something like that. I bet
it's going to be something big. Yeah, I can see that. So, but I'm going to say Wrecker hit his head, and so he goes dark, and then we got Crosshair is going to hit his head, and he's going to go back. That's what I'm going to call
Headbutt. And if I have an episode that's called Headbutt, I'm going to lose it.
That's it. They smack their heads together and they switch.
that's funny.
That would be a JJ thing.
Trading places.
Okay. So, since we're talking about new stuff and new characters and things like that, let's talk about the Eternals. So, do we want to watch that trailer or do we just want to talk about it?
I got it, Rep. You want to watch it?
So
You
I
didn't
got
see
about
it?
halfway through it, and then a mod called me,
Okay, here it
and I
is.
didn't go back to it.
Okay, I'll pull it up. Go for it.
I like how cinematography is. It's like it looks different. Like even
It looks like we're watching the Nativities.
So, look at the fans. A lot of the fans are complaining how dark it all is, though, because Kirby's comic style of this was very bright, vivid.
Didn't they do that also with the Game of Thrones? Didn't they start complaining at the end about how dark everything was?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did.
The
it's
shading
funny
and
how
stuff.
many characters from Game of Thrones is in here too. That's
Yeah,
I've never.
I
actually
love
watched
Salma
this, so I don't
Hayek. She looks awesome.
great. And you know the funny thing is like that black dude that's in there. He's from Atlanta.
Unguided.
Now,
The show Atlanta.
We have helped them
Yeah.
progress.
love how they're like helping these people and doing stuff, and then
Seen them.
in a second she
They
goes,
disappear.
"We never interfered."
Throughout the years, we have never interfered.
Okay, we just watched video of you interfering. What are you talking about?
I think that actually happens earlier in the thing, and then they start helping out. Is what we're seeing.
Yeah,
We
because they're
just don't notice
basically
it.
helping a community of people coming
I
to
love it
technology.
when Karen comes in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of the Stark boys are in here. My favorite line right here.
Yeah. Same.
Thank you for this.
Oh, you're welcome.
So now that Captain Rogers and Iron Man are both gone, who do you think's gonna lead the Avengers?
I could lead them.
It does. It
Awesome.
does have like a Lord of the Rings, Hobbitish feel to it.
So the cinematography stuff wise, yeah, I could see that.
Who's the director?
Oops, my bad.
That I don't remember.
Gotcha.
I could look it up while we're talking.
No,
but-
I think it looks really good, and I hope it kind of does. Well, I don't know if I want to go talking about that stuff because that's more comic book stuff. But
Go for it. I mean, that's why we're here.
well, no, I'm just wondering if that video that I sent you guys that was on TikTok the other day about because Thanos was an Eternal, so if we're gonna end up finding more about his origins and stuff and how he, I don't know, maybe get answers. I don't know. Do we really want answers too? But I mean, the Eternals look good. Like it looks like a really good movie. But I am
It
wondering if
says-
they're gonna touch on Thanos.
I don't know
I'm
if
sure
we're
that
gonna,
they will. I'm
you
sure
think
that
we'll
they
reach
will.
back.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, if you're going to be talking about ego, you're going to be talking about Thanos. Like all of them are in that
Yeah.
same realm. They're Celestials and this, that, and the other. So we're going to this more cosmic era of Marvel anyway. So you have to dive into these histories in order, because when we start introducing these larger than life villains and where they've been, you want to know why that is the case. So in Feige we trust. We do need some sort of
100%.
explanation.
Well, and I mean, it would be nice too to see how the Eternals even came to be if they follow the comic book version of how the Eternals came to be.
Why don't you give us some of that while you're because you've
they
got
were
more
created-
comics on that stuff.
Well, no, I mean, it's just like what little bit I've looked up so far. I'm not 100% familiar on Eternals and stuff like that, but I believe it was the Celestials that created the Eternals.
It was.
Yeah.
And so, wasn't Ego a Celestial, though? He wasn't an Eternal.
No, he wasn't an Eternal. He was a Celestial.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool to, I don't know. It'd just be cool, like you said, like Ace was saying, because we're kind of getting galactic universe, a whole universe type deal. I say galactic because galactic. But anyway,
I know
you're still hoping for that one, aren't you?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's
so
the next big baddie. I don't know.
The director that you were talking about is Chloe Zhao.
Which
doing that?
Yeah,
I don't know anything else that she does.
Is she an actress?
She just won She just got an Oscar and stuff. She's part of the reason that we haven't seen this listed in China yet, because she's made comments against China, and so China's not happy with it. So if you listen to Kevin Feige talk about it, he's trying really hard to skate
Stay
that
away.
line.
Yeah,
he's like, because he can't look like he's being negative towards somebody of a different race who's doing a movie, but he has to do what China wants him to do, because we established last week it's about money. They got to make money. Yeah. So look, this trailer. So everything's going back to the theaters, right? That's the trend. That's where we're going. This doesn't make me just like, I have to go out and see this when it comes out in the trailers. I'm not saying it's not good. I don't know. It's a trailer. How many times? There's so many trailers that look awful. You see a movie and it's amazing, or vice versa. It's not. It's not great. And here's why I say that is, first of all, the Eternals, like most people, unless you're like a diehard comic person, you really don't know them. They're one of the least known of a lot of the stuff, which is what we're getting into with the Marvel stuff. I mean, I know the main premise of the Eternals and the Deviants and that whole deal, right? Because I watched the video, like most people do, who aren't comic book nerds and know it. So you're showing us a trailer. We don't really know these characters, and so by the end of the trailer, I still don't have an idea about them at all or anything really. And so, unless I go watch a video. And so, let me give you an example of a great trailer, right? So a good trailer is like Guardians of the Galaxy. Go watch that trailer and tell me that's not amazing. It makes you want to see it. It shows the personalities of the characters. It's the one where you have Finn flipping off the camera and he's, they're getting the prison thing. And again, characters we didn't really know super well. We do now. They weren't big known characters. The Guardians weren't. And so if I'm being critical, this is not a great trailer compared to other things. I mean, am I excited? Am I a fan? Yes. Am I excited for content? Yes. I'm going to see it. Yes. This doesn't make me want to go spend money, make the time to go see this in the trailer with this one. We're going to get more trailers. Let's let them change my mind.
I can see that. Yeah. I mean, if I gave my overall opinion, I wasn't super excited by the end of it. But I'm going to go see it, obviously. But you also mentioned that it's going to theaters. We don't know totally of what's going to happen yet, because they've already actually came out and said, we're still testing the waters. We're going to watch and see how theaters are going. Right now, they're still 86% lower than they have been pre-COVID. So we're going to still try to test, okay, we're going to put it in theater, put it on Disney+. There's going to be some that's just going to be Disney Plus. And if we feel it out and we think,
might be a big part
go ahead.
Of maybe the decider. Black Widow, when Black Widow comes out, that might be a big decider on what they're going to do.
You got to wait and decide on Spider-Man. That needs to be that's a big.
Oh
movie.
no,
that's
no,
one.
You didn't. No,
What?
you didn't.
What do you mean?
He 100% went sexist and said because he was using women.
No, there's more
what I heard.
hype. There is way more hype around Spider-Man than there is the Black Widow. That's a fact.
Nope.
Well, go look around on the internet.
I
I'm
have
just
been
telling.
waiting for years
Bonnie,
to see this
I'm
movie.
not saying that. I know, and I'm not. Here's the problem with Black Widow. It should have come out earlier, right? We're dealing with a character that is gone out of the MCU, and
That
now
we
we're
think
finally
is
getting
gone.
a movie. Okay, true, right? Could they bring her back? Absolutely.
Yeah.
This movie should have come out after freaking Captain America. Like this is we should have got the backstory then. We should. It's just it's too late. Look, I'm excited. I'm gonna go see it. Right? I am. I'm gonna see it, and I think it's gonna be a good movie. I just think it was the wrong timing for it. If you like consider what's going on, the fact that she's dead, and I mean, you're just gonna watch it go.
If I ever see you in person, I'll slap you.
But you can be more excited about it. I'm talking generally, people are there's more hype around Spider-Man, and there always has been around Spider-Man than a Black
He's
Widow.
not coming out until March.
I'm just saying, if you're going to make a decision about movies and if they're successful, I don't think you make it on
after Eternals.
Black Widow. Doctor Strange, make a decision on one that's.
You guys are breaking up.
I think she's doing that on purpose.
Yeah,
I don't think she wants to listen to you. That's what it is.
it's fine. I said my truth.
I didn't get to hear any of it.
You can go back and watch the podcast.
What are
My
your
internet just said.
What's next? What do we got next on the agenda?
what was your thoughts, real quick, Ace?
I mean, it wasn't that exciting. I didn't rewatch it. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw it. I enjoyed the breakdown of the trailer more than I did the trailer, because they deep dived in it and kind of talked some history of stuff. So I was more into that than I was the actual trailer. So no, it didn't do anything for me.
Yeah, same. So real quick, let's hit this because I forgot to do it at the beginning. But our sponsor, Sonic, and I definitely already had my sweet tea today,
Nice.
and so I've already drank it. I don't have it with me,
That's why we call you Sweetie,
but that's not the only reason.
because you're Sweetie.
Anyways. So yeah, I used the app. It was half price for all the drinks because I got some for a lot of people, except for you guys because you weren't around. But that's okay.
Yeah, I my drink of choice for Sonic has definitely become the cherry vanilla Coke with lime. That's like my new thing.
Cherry, vanilla, Coke, and lime.
And
Yeah, well, I may be saying it wrong, but when you go to Sonic, if you look on the actual board when you're ordering, it's the drink. It's a drink that's on there. It's
like a specialty drink.
Yeah, it's one, but it's a picture of it and everything on it. But I think it's the cherry vanilla Coke with lime. And Sarah jumped on me about it because she's like, I've never heard you order that before. And I'm like, this is the only drink I've ordered from Sonic.
He's turned sparkly on us.
So, how when you go certain places and you get a fountain drink and you're like, this is not the carbonation, it's not right, right? Sonic is one of those places I have to say, like, if you want a good soft drink, the carbonation is just, it's right. It tastes exactly the way it's supposed to taste.
You never go, carbonation.
No.
At all.
Exactly.
Well, we love you, Sonic. Thanks for sponsoring our podcast. We love you. Okay. Now, on to, where was it going to go? Keanu Day.
Come on.
What happened? What happened to Keanu Day? It should be a national holiday, if nothing else.
I didn't know this. When was this, actually?
It was supposed to be the 24th. It was supposed to be
I just assumed
John Wick 4 and
The Matrix.
Yes, Matrix 4.
I just assumed every day was Keanu Day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's so many. I just got through watching Constantine again. Loved the movie.
It's so good.
He was so good.
He's such a good actor, man.
I love
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves, and I still stand by the fact that Matrix 2 is better than Matrix 1. Matrix Reloaded is better than Matrix the first one.
You always
Okay,
have to say
so
that every time we talk
Is
about
2 the
Matrix.
gatekeeper?
Yes, 2 is
Okay,
where he
yes.
saves Trinity. They could have stopped it right there.
Yeah.
Like
Two,
yeah,
3 was three was
two is the one
yeah.
with the highway scene.
the highway
We
scene, the
don't-
I
twin,
love that part. Yeah.
where they're like, "Where's Neo?" He's doing a Superman thing, like that whole.
Yeah.
The deal.
whole-
The reason why people feel this way about me and Mott have talked about till we're blue in the face about this,
Mhm.
but the reason why people in general think 1 is the best is because it was such a mind-blowing creative story. And it was
Nobody
like,
done anything like that
wow.
at all.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like take Inception, right? Freaking Knowles had to do Batman and all this other stuff before he could make a movie like Inception. They didn't. The studios thought it was gonna. They read the script and they're like, this is stupid. But you've made Batman. You've made a lot of money. Go do what you want to do. And then he makes Inception. You're like, that's incredible. And Matrix 1 is like that though. It's like it was mind blowing. It was like, we're in a simulation. This is insane. So that's why it gets that. But I understand Ahmad's point on 3 being better. So
Real quick, let's tell Bonnie bye. Bonnie has to go. We love you, Bonnie. Thank you for being
Cheers.
with us.
Bye, Fufu.
Cheers.
Hi guys,
I'll-
sorry
I'll
my
go-
internet sucks. I can't hear
I'm gonna
you.
go watch Black Widow with you.
Yes. Now I
I'll
can
sit
hear
right-
you guys fine.
I'll sit right beside you and I'm gonna cheer on Black Widow. I might dress
That's
up as
right.
her.
Yeah, please
That's
do.
scary.
Please
That's
do.
so scary.
Yeah, I'll
I
dress
don't
up
wanna
as-
see
as
that.
the dude in the red
No.
suit.
There's
All
nothing
right, I'll
good
see y'all
about
later.
that. Later, Bon.
All right, bye.
I'll have to shave.
Yeah,
Or maybe I don't.
So even my whole example outside of that, right? I look at the whole Batman series that you brought up with Nolan, right? I love Batman Begins, but Dark Knight is so far superior to that. And so nobody has a problem with me saying that. But when I say
Right.
Matrix 2 is better than Matrix 1, oh, they about to put me on the
People
stage.
lose their mind. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
they lose it.
I think the deal too is 1 happened and everybody was like, again, your mind, you come up with all these ideas of what it could be and what's going on, and then when they got it, it wasn't as grandiose as they had dreamed up in their head.
Yeah.
And so when 2 comes, it's like, it's cool, but this isn't what I expected after 1. You know, it's the same thing with Star Wars. We had 40 years and we get 7 and we're like, okay, I'll give 8 a try. And then you get 8 and you're like, ugh, whatever. I'll go see 9 and finish this out. What?
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Joey's example, not mine.
Back to
It's always the same example.
everything goes back to 9. Who JJ did do. Okay,
I mean,
sorry.
So there's stuff that happened in Matrix. The first.
This is all about
Matrix.
Keanu Day, right? Isn't that what
This
we're
is
talking about?
we're
Keanu
talking
Day?
about Keanu Day, so I mean, this is you got to talk about this. So you have the first one, and they do the really cool like slow motion stuff, and stuff's happening. That I mean, we've seen some of this stuff on like the Chinese movies that come out, but it didn't feel the same way. Like I always felt that's kind of but when they did it here, it was just like, and you're seeing the bullets just go, phew, phew, and he's like leaning back and doing this.
Yeah,
All
it
of
was,
it was
definitely
super
it was
cool.
definitely how they
Groundbreaking.
shot it. It was groundbreaking.
Yeah.
And I get that, but at the same time, I'm also a fan. I'm not really into origin stories in movies. Like I like for people to know how to use their powers. I hate that we have to spend the entire movie of you learning your powers, you trying to figure it out, and then by the end of the movie, now we get this glimpse of what this person's supposed to be, especially when we're rebooting movies like a Spider-Man or like a Batman. Like I don't need to see your mom down in the alley no more, bro. Like I don't
Right.
need pearls
I
flying.
agree
everywhere.
with Ahmad on that. And that
Yeah.
and again, what did
But
they
not
do
on
with
this one. I wouldn't.
what did they do with Spider-Man? They just assumed we all knew the story and they went with it. And that was great. Good for Marvel. Because that is what I'm tired of. I'm tired of all these let's reinvent them. And it's like, then they show us a new version, a little bit of how this happened. And I was like, no, this is the story. Let's just stick with it. And let's add to the story, guys. This is just, I'm tired of it.
The only thing I would say on this particular thing though is that I mean obviously the Matrix, the thought process of us in a machine that we're hooked up to is not a normal concept. That was a cool concept to think that we're just a bunch of batteries to robots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you never would have had the cool moment with Morpheus in the cool looking leather chair and stuff. I mean, those things were awesome.
Who was Morpheus supposed to be? I'm trying to remember who was supposed to be casted. It was somebody big.
Will Smith and Tom Cruise. One of
and it would have been
Tom
totally
Cruise.
different.
No.
It would have been totally
different. Will Smith was supposed to be Neo.
That's right.
And Tom Cruise was supposed to be Morpheus.
And didn't he regretted not doing it.
I hated that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about John Wick?
I could see Tom Cruise running into the room, and he hops over the chair and sits down in it.
Can we just
did his own stunts?
Will Smith has 2 that he regrets. He let go of Matrix, and he let go of Django.
Right.
Django,
what about John?
Which one was that?
Django and
is
Chain.
Okay. It's
no
got Jamie
D on
Foxx in it, right?
It has a D, but it's silent.
Yes. I love that one. It was super messed up though.
It was good.
It was good, but it was messed up.
I love the music.
I mean, yeah.
They said the N-word
Keanu Day.
76 times in that movie.
Anything with Leonardo in it, man.
It was terrible. Yeah.
Leonardo's the best, man.
I love it.
And everybody went straight for it. It wasn't like anybody held back either.
Nope, they went for it. I love the movie, bro. I love Samuel Jackson in it. He was, oh my gosh, he was okay. All right, Keanu.
Okay.
John Wick. Isn't it crazy how like John Wick, when John Wick 1 came out, like we weren't talking about it. I remember streaming it. Like it was just like it already come out, and I was like, I guess I'll watch John Wick. Why not? And I remember watching it. I'm just like, that's pretty cool. I was like, he killed his dog, and he just goes off on him. I was like, I liked that. It was a good movie. And then all of a sudden the hype hit, and it just was like, boom, 2 and 3, and people are just like, dude, John Wick is a freaking machine.
And I had no idea, and I only watched it like a month ago because you guys kept saying, you got to watch this. You got to watch this.
You hadn't seen John
wow.
I had never seen one John Wick movie.
What are your thoughts?
I loved it. I thought it was ridiculous. Yeah.
It's one of those shows, man, like especially the first one, right? There's not a lot of story to it, right? You know, he's a bad
just
guy.
running around killing people.
He used to do bad
I want
things.
my car back.
He's super strong. They killed his dog, and he makes him pay. Like
and they took his car.
And he just does it in a badass way. Like
Yeah.
It's one of the few movies that like I'll sit here and tell you, screw the story. It's just Keanu just kicking some ass, man. It's awesome.
Well, that's definitely, we should end on Keanu Day. So Keanu Day every day, or at least pick us a day.
We didn't really talk
Day.
about Highlander, but it's fine. We're excited.
We can come back to it.
We will.
We can talk. Yeah, for sure. We'll come back when
talk
Shane's
about how.
here too.
Yeah, we'll talk more about it later.
So we're gonna end on this. Maybe we'll see if we end on it.
Oh, thank you. Who wants to live forever?
The best song. From
So
that.
good.
The first one we came in on, and this last one we came out on, made it for me.
Gonna have to repeat this when we actually talk about Highlander. That'd be nice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do. Yeah, the next time we come back, we'll hit this again. But we love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. We are the Marauders.
Jared
every
McLeod
Thursday.
of the Clan McLeod.
Of the Clan
Ace
McLeod.
of Omens, give me sight beyond sight.
Hey, C3PP, I miss you.
We miss you,
Hope you-
C3P.
Hope you have fun tearing out your floor, cleaning it up.
We're out of here.
Don't have fun in Dustin.
Dustin.
Justin's not watching this, guys. I hate to